Right, now it's putting out. Let's... What the fuck? My laptop isn't connected with the bloody stream. Okay. I've got to download a new freaking browser or something, or what? I'm having a lot of bloody problems right now. YouTube. I agree. Come on, piss off. Finally! Okay, allow, yeah. Right, I'm using a different browser right now. I'm on, I think it's Opera, the browser is. But for some reason, okay, my browser decided that it didn't want to receive. So, right. Okay, we're about, I'm just, okay. So, we have sound as well. I've got me just purchased a trailer. So I'll go and update that trailer. Trailer manager. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Actually, no, I've not purchased it. It's lost it. Okay, no problem. I will reconfigure that one. So, what's happened in the last week? Basically, the world's gone shit. The world's gone tits up. Some guy in Russia is claiming that it's a military operation, but it's really, in fact, it's a, no matter which way you look at it, it's an invasion. You know, as a sovereign nation walks into another nation with less than friendly intent, it's an invasion, no matter how you dress it up. And he is saber-rattling with playing fast and loose with nukes. He's had a go at sending nuclear weapons to... so not nuclear weapons, but sending weapons and attacking a nuclear power station. Thank you, Mad Vlad, for basically nearly sending everybody to that power station to Kingdom Come. Because had you actually broken the containment structure, we would have had another Chernobyl. Which, quite frankly, I remember the last one, and it wasn't nice. So, basically, we have issues there. Yeah, and when you... They need to be gloss. They need to be gloss. Yeah, if you set fire to a nuclear power station and damage its cooling structure, and it explodes, and that's one thing. When it explodes in the middle of a fucking war zone, it's something totally different. And the fact that he's threatened nuclear retaliation really kind of brings it into perspective with this guy. Now, as I sit here, I want that one there. I don't want that tire. There, that tire. Yeah, right. You know, and this needs to be addressed. And you can't simply just go walk in and declare a no-fly zone over Russia. Well, it's already threatened nuclear use of atomic weapons, which really doesn't put the world in a nice, particularly stable situation. I mean, we're only, in the UK, we are about 3 days drive from the Ukrainian border. And that's what makes it so bloody scary. Right. So, there's my truck. And let's... It's been connected. It's in Reykjavik. So, let's get some jobs done. Now, did make me wonder why, will this guy actually do it? Well, part of me says no, but the other half says possibly. I mean, he's already threatened. I need to reboot my game because I've got FPS loss. Back in a minute. I hate it when it does that. When you got to open up the game, there's other processes on. It starts to lag a bit. Now, I was hoping to get away from not have that problem, so open up Trucks Book again and restart the game. I hate it when it does that. Hello, Alex. bus? Is that on multiplayer or single player? Because you were talking about bringing buses into multiplayer. What I've also done as well, I've gone on to got Cassie carries on the non-Steam version. I've just added Iceland to the doubles pack, so I can drive around Iceland with the doubles. That's on multiplayer. I might have to try and do that myself, actually. Driving around in a bus. God. Oh, single player, that's not so bad then. I did actually have a bus mod, but my profile didn't like it. No. Yeah, I can imagine you do need a passenger mod. Well, right now I consider getting a copy of Protect and Survive. Start studying that, you know. Because I live in a mid-terrace, so it's like, where the hell am I going to make a fallout shelter? Keep your eyes on the sky. Not that it'll happen, you know. You won't get the 3-minute warning. It's like, well, hopefully it won't come to that. You know, somebody will see sense first. Pardon me, it's always slow to load. Now, this ceasefire that appears to have not held, to be honest, I think the Russians simply have just troops on the ground haven't got the message. It certainly seems that way. But I reckon probably by the end of this week, things will look a lot different. One way or the other, I think Ukraine can't carry on for much longer. Oh yeah, okay. You've got to find a greyhound skin for it then. Well, originally, ETS was actually meant to be a bus simulator, which is fine. But because that's why you got the transit depots actually in the bus stations in every city. There's in the old map there's a transit depot. Although I've not noticed them in places like Bergen. I mean, probably is one in Bergen somewhere. Or it might be like the hotel. But there's going back to Ukraine. There's a lot of sensationalism flying around the news at the moment. Saw on the What's It News, I was like, you should prepare for Downsweet to dust off its nuclear plans as to what may happen in the middle of a nuclear strike. Oh, sod off. Yeah, Microsoft Edge does not like YouTube for some strange reason. It's working on So I think right now I should drive around my 2 steps from hell trailer. Because we are 2 steps from hell. I best not sing that because it might get a copyright strike because that was a 2 steps from hell song. Dear. Well, tonight's stream probably won't do as much driving as we do normally because of the earlier technical difficulties. I don't think Microsoft Edge and YouTube particularly like each other. Well, Garage54 have just put a new video out. To be honest, I mean, I don't think Garage54 really care about the war. You don't want anything to do with it, which is probably a good thing. Well, they're in Novosibirsk in Siberia, so they couldn't give a shit about Moscow. Right. I will need fuel on this particular trip. Well, so I've only got about half a tank. No, I've just got under half a tank. But the Russians have, it has been confirmed that the AN-225 has been destroyed. The icon of Ukraine's no more. It was lying on its side. It's had one of its wings has been blown off, and the nose has been severed. But as it was developed from the AN-124 to be a heavy lift platform, Antonov will rebuild it. They will rebuild it for one simple reason. When they are going to have to rebuild Ukraine, you're going to need, they're going to need it. And they won't be able to do off their rebuild stuff if they haven't got any heavy lift capability. Because all manner of infrastructure is going to be needed. Now, back in the 1980s, the AN-225 was a formidable piece of kit. 6 engines, can carry 250 tons. Oh, bollocks! Trying to back up with a set of double is interesting, to say the least. have to put a skew on these things in order to do it. Right. But I was watching a couple of videos earlier on. The likes of the BBC and CNN. Vladimir Putin has put a new law into place that basically says if you are going against the state authorized line as to what is going on in the world, yeah, you are at risk of imprisonment for up to 15 years. Well, basically, that's like you're trying to hide something. Mad Vlad is trying to hide something. And I wonder what that could be. Yeah. This war, this special operation, sorry. Well, this war is not going how he wanted it to go. So, the fact that I've just called that operation a war means that this video is now probably blocked in Moscow. My channel is probably blocked in Russia right now. But what the fuck? I don't give a fuck. Yeah. And if you want to win the hearts and minds of a people you are trying to protect, blowing them to kingdom come is not the way to do it. And threatening nuclear Armageddon is only going to make matters worse. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to win the hearts and minds of a population when the hearts are in one city and the minds are somewhere else. It's a bit difficult. Yeah, it really is not helping. And in the 1980s, 1990s, just towards the end, I mean, this is just post Chernobyl, 1991. The generals got a little bit annoyed at Mikhail Gorbachev. And basically, a coup d'etat was carried out. Because they were worried about the way that the world is going. Well, the way that their world, as they saw it, was going. This resulted in the army being on the streets of Russia, of Moscow. Okay, the coup didn't last long. But right now, I can see what is going to happen in Moscow. Because Vladimir Putin, he's not the one with all the power. He thinks he's got all the power, but he hasn't. He had some goings on with Aeroflot, what's it today, and he was getting quite close to his aerostesses, which is in stark contrast as to what has been going on in his briefings, where he's at this long table. This table is about 20 meters in length. It's about 2 meters wide and about 20 meters long. A huge table in the Kremlin. And his generals have been sat at one end, and he's been sat at the other. Because he doesn't want to get close, and he blames it on coronavirus. Well, you can blame a lot of things on coronavirus. Yeah, leave this lane. Yeah, but he's not the one in control. The ones with the money are the ones in control. Already we are starting to see direct action in the UK. I think it was on Friday, a ship carrying natural gas, which isn't covered by the sanctions against Russia, tried to offload at a port in Kent. The dockers refused to offload. And today, a ship from Germany carrying oil arrived at Stanlow to offload its load of Russian crude oil, again which is not covered by the sanctions. The dock workers failed to offload it, refused to offload it. The ship ended up, I think it had to leave. PayPal have abandoned Russia. So if you want to buy a John Ruder mod, because John Ruder's Russian, he's nothing to do with this. But he trades in rubles. If you want to buy a mod from John Ruder, have a nice day. Yeah, if you want to, as a Russian, buy parts for your BMW, and you want to pay in PayPal, you want to send it by eBay because you're just trying off eBay, so you want to use PayPal. Good luck to you. Various Western companies now are just abandoning Russia. What the fuck? Oh. That roundabout was a little bit too tight. What am I stuck on? What am I stuck on? What am I stuck on? I think that's what I'm hung up on. There we go. Brought myself to a bit of a sticky halt. Rather abruptly as well, actually. So might have just damaged the fuel tank of the trailer. Well, that is a tight roundabout. I wouldn't expect it to be that tight. So, the people who need to do business in Russia with the West won't be able to because Western companies are just pulling out of Russia or abandoning Russia left, right, and centre. So eventually, there will be civil unrest in Russia. And I think the army will possibly take control. But even if Ukraine loses, because as much as I want Ukraine to survive this current crisis, when Russia finally gets its act into gear, they will overrun Ukraine, and they will do it very quickly, because the numbers, just quite simply, are not in Ukraine's favour. Hello. Which is going to cause problems. Mr. Swex. Hello there. Yeah, and I think what will happen then is that there will be begin where's that name come from? Sounds like Zimbabwe or something like that. But welcome to my channel. Make yourself at home, feel free, sit down, I don't bite. Might get emotional from time to time, but I don't bite. And if it ends up with Russia having to fight an insurgency, that could go on for ages. I mean, we had the troubles in Northern Ireland. Let me see the rear. Just that. Nothing fantastic about it, just a plain, box standard Icaris on the back of a Scania. Hello, bad kid. How you doing? Just heading to Rallye. Back in the trailer. Hang on. Let me just pull over. I'll pull over a second. Hey, what? Iceland. Yeah, I've got good brakes. That's it. Phoenix is on the front. And that. That's all it is. Just a basic carry trailer. And where I'm at right now, I am literally just down the road from the... Oh yeah, that's where I am. There's about two volcanoes here. One's got a completely unpronounceable name, and the other one is Katla, and they're just over those hills there. Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, bad kid. 1010. Now I've got to get out of here. And that's quite a tight entrance point. I actually made the skin myself, actually. I did my own skin. That's the boss. That's Techie the cat. I got a trophy. I think I'm going to wipe these signs out in a minute. Nope. I'm out. I got out. Got out. Got out. You can say that. Okay. Yes! The new Ukrainian DLC. They've sold a fucking lot of those already. I mean, it's only 79 pence. It's about €1. They sold over 20,000 copies already. Which is probably going to really upset Russia. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I do not understand what's going through Vladimir's head right now. You know, I think he's lost the plot big time. I don't think you'll be able to put links up here. Links are not permitted in the chat. I mean, if you've got it on the TMP, if you're the TMP, you put in the pictures of the TMP Discord or something like that if you've got it. I'll find it. Yeah, the world's gone batshit crazy. I mean, the West hasn't declared war on Russia. Russia's declared war on itself. Yeah, by invading a sovereign state, yeah. Because you simply, as a nation state, you do not put your tanks on their lawns when you're not invited. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that. That's a bit of one, because Sartos, he's a 770 is a bloody Scania engine. Okay. I'm over in Europe. And what really brought it home, what brought this bloody madness home to me on Thursday, is I'm going up the M6, and I overtook a Ukrainian truck. Ukrainian trailer, Ukrainian unit. I was like, that is too close for comfort. Well, the next in these service stations, I need to change the air horns in this truck. I appear to have lost a couple. Hello there. Just travelling through Iceland at the moment on the volcanic plains. I'm racing for somewhere to... It's better in a tunnel. I need to find somewhere I can quickly park up because I need to go to the toilet. I need a pee. So I'm going to pull off the grass here, I think, in a minute. I'll park up here for a moment. And I'll be back in a moment. Give me 5 minutes. Right, I'm back. Let's all have a look, quick look at something. Truck dealers. Mod dealer. Why have I not got... Yeah, I know I've got a MAD. I've downloaded that before the entire kicked off. It's not a bad truck, actually. Minsk Auto Factories. I think MAZ is what it stands for. Oh, yeah. I need to put those on. I did actually have, for some reason, it wasn't that one. Wasn't Pirates of the Caribbean? Scania R999 Santos. carrying on 900 rep and all that. But that'll be an interesting one. What hordes did I give it? So, what's it missing? I just need to quickly just have a look at something on a Discord, because the horns have changed. But yeah, I think if TMP actually did that, where they put a thing up with donate, I mean, there's 4.5 million players on that's a leaving poker. Aha. That's the one I was after. I've actually what you have a slot? I don't get you. I don't quite get what you mean. I'm just a simple truck driver. Just turn that down a bit. I think back in, if TMP actually do try to raise money, you know, by even their Patreon accounts, you know, give say 10% of what they earn to Patreon to the Ukraine Relief Fund, that could be a hell of a lot of money. I mean, I don't know how many people on TMP have Patreon accounts. But it's be a fair number. You know. But either way, I don't think it's going to go on for much longer. Yeah, it can't go on because, you know, the Russians will try to encircle Kyiv and all the other towns. That will good on you, buddy. But be careful, because there are some people now who'll take the opportunity of setting up a scam. So if you're going to donate money, make sure you are donating it to the right place, so that the people who need it get the money. I mean, later on this year, I'm going to reapply for my passport. I actually want to go to this place. I want to go to Iceland and explore it. Because it really is a beautiful place. He's turning. Well, the van in front's turning actually, but never mind. My fuel light, just fuel warning light's just come on, so I need to fuel it with fuel in a bit. But I know that just down there, where those buildings are, there is fuel. Why is that come up as held to review? That bad kid, I don't know what you did, but you upset the bot there. Yeah, you donated to a friend, so all of a sudden like, it comes up as to be held to review. There's no swearing in that post. Yeah, there was no nothing offensive in that. Now where is the... Oh, it's there. There it is. There it is. Well, that was that, isn't it? Oh. Yeah, well, as what it is. Yeah. I don't think, I think in a few weeks' time, it will be over. One way or the other. Yeah. Now that cities have started to fall, we've started to see the end game. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take now. Because a few years ago you had the Chechen conflict and things did not go too well for Vladimir Putin. So what does? He levels Grozny. just completely flatten the place. It just goes to show what kind of idiot this guy is. I thought he would never be stupid enough to attack a nuclear power station, that he tried to take it over peacefully. Well, no, he fucking shelled the thing. I mean, does he want a nuclear accident? I mean, okay, it was a tank shot. If he used a cruise missile and hit the main reactor building, a ceasefire would be the last thing he'd be worried about. Yeah, they should go to Chernobyl and see exactly what nuclear damage can do. Well, you know, madmen don't see sense half the time. Well, 5 watching now. Hello, welcome to my channel. As we are basically tonight, we're just driving around Iceland, just doing delivery work around Iceland. I won't be doing the Great Central Road because it's ridiculous. It's blocked at the moment. You can't actually get through. There's about a 6-foot high snowdrift. I think right now we are moving oh dear. Life is going absolutely crazy right now. I mean, another thing as well that needs to be done is that I was browsing YouTube and I've come across channels which are giving so-called reports out where the West are doing this, the West are doing that, the Russians are doing this, the Russians are doing that. It's all coming from the same fucking side. The only thing is that it looks to me that it could be possible disinformation. That needs to be cracked down upon. Although, as with any conflict in the world, if you control, there are 3 aspects of a war that you need in order to win. You need to control 2 of them, you'll win. Control, but it'll take a while. Iceland, Pro Mods, single player. And control all 3 and you'll win the war pretty bloody quickly. Now, you need to control the combat. That's your troops on the ground, shooting up your enemy combatants, your air force, taking out enemy air force and enemy combatants, and same with the ships, the navy. Your traditional guns and bullets, missiles and what have you. You then need to control the information. Now that is information coming out, going to the troops, and also between troops and headquarters, which is what we did when we broke the cipher for Enigma in the Second World War. And the Japanese code was also broken by the Americans. So you're controlling the information there, and also as well denying communication to the enemy, blowing up TV towers, jamming signals, etc, etc. And then the third one that you need to control is the propaganda. The information getting out and going to the everyday people of the country. Tell them how good they are, how bad they are. So if you can control the propaganda, the information space, and the combat, you will win the war. Simple as. Now, Russia's idea of winning the war, the propaganda war, is to put a muzzle or a ball gag on the media, so they can't tell what's the people of how good or how bad it is going. That's not control. That's just hiding. Because the Russians with VPNs and stuff will find out what's going on. They will ring up their friend who lives in Helsinki. They will ring up their friend who lives in America. They will tune into shortwave radio. They will find out what's actually going on. Simple as. Simple as, If there's a way to find out what's going on in the world, they will find out. Russia today is not the only source of media in the world. Although Vladimir would like it to be. But it don't work like that. control the communications. I mean, if you, yeah, the way to do that, yeah, deny communication to the enemy so the enemy can't communicate with each other. There are many ways that you can do that. Taking out satellites, blocking satellites, jamming radios and stuff. But again, that may take out the long range stuff, but the short range stuff and relays will still get through. And then obviously you have to control the combat. But you've got the cyberspace warfare as well, which comes under, that kind of comes under control of communications. Oh yeah, it's banned. You still get it in the UK. We haven't blocked it over here. You can still get onto RT.com. So if you want to laugh, just have a look at it. It's a complete polar opposite to the narrative coming off CNN, Sky, the BBC. In reality, the truth is what's going on is somewhere between the two. But again, it all boils down to the fact is that all this is kicked off because one guy is frightened. He's frightened of the West. He's frightened of democracy. Because democracy means that every so often you can lose your grip on power. Because the people don't want you there. Yeah, he's got no successors. He's divorced. So he's got no children to hand Russia over to. Unlike Kim Jong-un, for example, in North Korea, he's got family. He's got kids, I think, possibly. Well, you never know because nothing really comes out of that place. And when Kim Il-sung died, it was handed over to Kim Jong-un. Why want to now go over there but might get killed? Well, possibly. Yeah, and North Korea, he's had that much bloody brainwashing of his people. They hate the West. Well, so you'd think. I mean, Michael Palin went to North Korea. I think it was not last year, was it? He did a 2-part TV program, and right at the end, he asked this soldier, he's on the DMZ, as to what he wants to happen, and basically, he just wants North Korea and South Korea to actually get along and live peacefully without the need for trouble. And North Korea can change. Will it change? Maybe, maybe not. But it can change. Yeah. Yeah, it is. You've got to feel sorry for these bloody journalists. We have no plans to invade Ukraine. Your journalists are quite safe in Ukraine. We are not going to invade. Bang, in they go. And now Russia is starting to shoot at foreign journalists because they don't want the truth to get out there. And how are the Americans getting all this intelligence? They have assets right now over that area. I mean, a few years ago there was something rumoured to be flying called the SR-97 or the SR-91. Its code name is Aurora, and it's the replacement for the SR-71. America denies its very existence. They're denying its very existence for a fucking good reason. It's a black project. They want it to remain quiet. So if you can creep up and take photographs of enemy troop movements without the enemy knowing you're even fucking there, because this thing's at 120,000 feet, flying at 5 times the speed of sound, you're going to get a jump on the, in the intelligence war. But for the UK government and the European governments to say that Vladimir Putin will not use nuclear weapons, well, given what he's done this week as and he has used Novichok on foreign soil to deal with people he doesn't like. It's not a total improbability. It's unlikely because he knows the result. So the UK government and the governments of the European Union must certainly put it down as a probability that it might happen. Therefore, to draw up contingency plans just in case. He's crazy and he knows what he's doing, which makes him doubly dangerous. It's not called Mad Flat. Pretty much. Yeah, Buzzkid, why is he saying that? Why has he done that? If this special operation, as he calls it, was going how he planned, he wouldn't need to do that. So because his invasion is not going how he anticipated because of stiff Ukrainian resistance, with the help from a drone called Bayraktar, and high morale on the Ukrainian side, who right now they are. And it's not just Russian journalists either. It's anybody in general who says it. Yeah. If this stream was going out, if you're on a radio station and you're on Polish side of the border and you can reach into Poland, so reach into Russia, and you call it a war, even though you're in Poland, he wants that to apply to you. Yeah. So if members of the FSB come along and see this YouTube file, there's me calling it a war. No, he can't go back. He's got to go forward. Yeah. Sun Tzu said, yeah, amongst his many quotes, if you are strong, look weak. If you are weak, look strong. But always give your enemy a golden bridge. Yeah. And the thing is, he's not giving himself that exit strategy. He hasn't thought about it. And that's half the problem. Yeah. I mean, okay, a war plan never survives 5 minutes with contact with the enemy, but no, I don't quite agree that. I would say take him out of office. That'll stop him. But killing him is not the only way to take him down. That's not the only way to do it. You know, there's more than one way to skin a cat, so to speak. And, you know, if you saw the newsreel where he was, I command you to put our nuclear assets onto special alert. He says to his generals, look at the face of the generals. They looked at him as if to say, oh, for fuck's sake. I've got no now backlights on my trailer. Didn't think I've got no fucking lights on my trailer. He will sing revenge. Yeah, he will sing revenge. However, it's alright being the singing the revenge, but you've got to have the ways and means to back it up. How's he going to back it up? How's he going to dish out revenge when he's in a bloody Russian gulag? Because the army have put him there. It's a bit difficult. It's extremely difficult for him to actually do that if he's been isolated. Yeah, so once he's out of the picture, I mean, he's 70. You know, he's 70 years old, and I think he's trying to leave a legacy. But the trouble is, the average Russian They're not with this guy. That's why they've had protests on the street about this war that he's trying to silence. Now, I was watching CNN, BBC, and something caught my eye. There was a convoy sent with some Chechen guy in there. And this convoy was sent to assassinate Zelensky. It got bounced on by the Ukrainians. On this particular guy, well, let's just say that his life was shortened somewhat. Who gives the Ukrainians that information? A member of the FSB. Now, when members of your own secret service are giving that kind of information away, yeah, it just goes to show how weak your position is, because your own secret service isn't behind you. And if there's one person in there who's not particularly interested in the party line, pretty much guaranteed there's going to be a few more. Yeah, ex-KGB. Yeah, and Vladimir's a KGB guy. Mikhail Gorbachev was his boss. And the KGB did not come after Mikhail Gorbachev after he left office. Yeah, so it just goes to show, why he's had to bring in this law that says that if you go against the official narrative, you're going to get 15 years in prison. He's brought that in because he's fucking scared. He's trying to control the narrative. And in addition to this, his oligarchs, the people with money, when they find that they are having difficulty, they will want to do something about it. Yeah, and this one's literally just over the water. Yeah. And I reckon when they try to do something about it, either a Makarov will be involved, or possibly Novichok, because they will want Putin dealt with. And Novichok is not a nice substance. Sergei Skripal found that out. Alex Navalny found that out. But more than likely, I think one of his inner circle will take him out. Can I get around here without getting stuck? I don't think so. Nope. Right. F7. I ain't gonna get out of there. Not easily. Yeah. 19. Yeah. And that's why the Russians have guys are not wanting to fight. They've been lied to. They've been deceived. And he's losing the hearts and minds. And if you want to win a war of occupation, you need to win the hearts and minds of the people you're trying to occupy. And that goes to, applies to Russia as much as it applies to America. When the Americans went into Afghanistan and Iraq. Yeah. And because you've not got that hearts and minds, you're not going to win. You're not going to win a war of occupation. Because he expected that they'll come along and I'll walk into Ukraine and they'll welcome me in with open arms. Did you not remember a few years ago, I think it was 2008, or was it 2014, the Orange Revolution? They threw out a Moscow-leaning president. They threw him out. And because they threw this Moscow-leading guy out, I think that hurt Vladimir Putin. That hurt him, that snipped him, that really did upset him. And to go in there and try to install a Moscow leaning puppet, because I think that's what he's trying to do. The people of Ukraine are sort of like, no, we do not want this. We've had 30 years of democracy. We are not going back to Russia. And it's galvanized the population. It's proper galvanizing against the against the Russians. And he didn't expect, he don't think he even calculated that. I mean, there was rumours that he might have had Parkinson's disease. If that's the case, then this might be why he's trying to do what he's trying to do, because he knows his time is not long for this world. Hence why he's trying to leave a legacy. But he's had 8 years to do this, and because when the Ukrainians threw out their Moscow-leaning puppet, he kind of stirred up resentment of Ukrainians in the Russian-speaking part, which is why we have the Donbass, and which is Donetsk and Luhansk. Try to wrench them away from Kyiv. And because this hasn't gone their way, they haven't been able to completely isolate Donetsk and Luhansk from Kyiv. He's got a little bit frustrated. And that's all it boils down to. He's just throwing his toys out the fucking pram. Where's everybody gone? And I suspect that's probably what all this current fracas boils down to. Demilitarize Ukraine so then he can just simply wrestle quite easily the Donbass region off Ukrainian territory. He's angry. That's all it is. But I bet right now there's some really angry exchanges taking place in the Kremlin. But in a few hours' time, yeah, the sun will come up, and the sun will go down again. Then it'll come back up. Yeah, life will carry on as it has done. Now back it, he was a KGB agent. Mikhail Gorbachev was actually his boss. There's no I think what it is, he thinks he still is a KGB agent. Not was, is. But yeah, he's definitely not right in the head. Yeah, and that's where the problem is. But I think the KGB or the FSB, they will keep him under control one way or the other. When things start to bite, they will deal with him. This guy has become a problem. He had to be dealt with. I mean, Boris Johnson, who I don't particularly like, I think he's a fucking idiot. Yeah, says the way that he is behaving is not how to get less NATO. I help Martin. It's how to get more NATO. And that's what he's scared of. Well, if he's backs down and starts being such a complete dickwipe, yeah, the situation can possibly return to something near normal. But yeah, Russians and Russia has lost a lot of respect on the world stage. I mean, back in the 1970s, 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, when can't go that way. Yeah. Russia was a country that could be respected, not necessarily trusted, but respected. Yeah. And it was a country where Russians could be proud to be Russian. After all, in the 1960s, the first satellite to go into space, Sputnik, well, that was Russian. Yeah, the first man in space, Yuri Gagarin, was Russian. The first woman in space, Valentina Tereshkova, Russian. The first rover to land on a foreign planet, on a foreign body. Mariner, I think it was Mariner. Well, that was, I think, as far as I'm aware, I think that was Russian. The first supersonic airliner, the Tu-144. It was only first by a few weeks, because the Russians kind of rushed it into service. They were trying to beat Concorde. Yeah. It didn't last as long as Concorde, but it was a first. And it was also faster than Concorde. Not by much. Yeah, he had everybody fooled. I mean, Trump called him a pure genius. There might be some logic in that. Alexa, stop. stop. Thank you. And what he's trying to do, he's trying to take Russia back to the Soviet Union by the sounds of it. The world has moved on. Just like England trying to go back to the night when England was great before the European Union. We were great in the 1930s and the 1940s. Less so great in the 50s. A bit better in the 1960s. But I wouldn't be surprised if he meddled in Brexit. Because a disunited Europe is advantageous to him. And right now, he has done quite a lot to try and disunite Europe, but all of a sudden, he's brought Europe together. He's united Europe. Yeah. He's brought together his worst fears to try and bring what he didn't want. Yeah, thing is though as well, what's he got planning? Is he planning a nuclear strike on the UK? We do not know. It's unlikely, but possible. Because if he does, he'll get a full-blown nuclear retaliation. And I don't think he wants that. But we can only see what's happened. I mean, he's got that much bloody nuclear firepower to wipe out bloody Europe 3 times over. The rest he'll probably use on the United States. Back in a minute. Yeah, I've just got the kettle being making myself a cup of coffee downstairs. I'll be nipping back down a minute to. Was it anything towards Iceland? That could be fun. That could be a fun trip. I'll take that one again. Yeah, see. I'll say that's me the my Scania Martin. But yeah, with that guy, anything is possible right now. But Russia used to be a country where you could respect it. Right now, very few countries have respect for Russia. Oh yeah, I've got quite a. Have I got truck manager? I'll move my profile to Iceland. Upgrade. Yeah. There's that one there. I did it in black, one in black and one in blue. Sombra. In fact, I'll just make this a tracked unit for a second. 6x4. I've got that one there, which goes with its own trailer. The Wandering Warrior. I actually finally got round to changing the figure on the side of the trailer there, inside the cab. So I found one with just her, the fourth version of her. So, go for a second. That character there. That character there. And that character there. They're all the same person. I've got all my, yeah, and I got that one there. That one needs the back plate for it to work properly. Oh, no, wrong one. Wrong one. It actually goes. She actually goes all the way up on there. Because it's designed for having a back panel on the back. Yeah, it works better. Ah, yeah, here we are. I'll put that on there. Now you see it. Just causing trouble. And if I can just zoom in, obviously, Laura Jane's another delivery for Laura Jane, multiplied by ice. This particular character was like a normal, had normal skin tones with normal looking eyeballs. I put the nose ring in off another character. I actually made the nose ring, put it in, and manually did her eyeballs black. But ever since I actually did this with the black eyeballs, I used to have 3 series blue sun visors. They all started to go glitchy. It's like, oh dear. Purple haze. That's designed for the tandems. Obviously Scania blank and Scania travel. That's one just plain blank, and that one's for the travel boxes, which I'll show in a second. Clear order. If I go for that there. Swap body. That's why you won't see it. Come on. There's that node there. And it's a BAK box 4.4. Oh, well, yeah, that's the travel version. And the trailer matches it as well. So that's that one done. And obviously you've seen Sombra and that. And I got that one off what's it as well. But it doesn't work with the VAK boxes. It only works with the I like the Aurora. If it's a standard tractor unit. But I like that. I do like that. No, I didn't make that one. What else have we got? Radicax to upgrade. And of course, we've got the old XF. And the original Dream Cab design, the Port Lincoln design, Dream Cab Mark II. Kind of reskinned it slightly. Quite happy, quite nice how that one's turned out. Right, time now to go back downstairs because I think the kettle's just boiled. And yeah, a pimped up Renault. When Sisu decided to build a model, I don't know why the hell they used the Renault Premium. I mean, come on. And obviously the Scania S in Ocean Concept livery. Right. Kettle's almost ready, packing them in. Right. This one's got plenty of time on this job as well. It's 111 hours. Right. So, with Ukraine, this may sound cruel, but what I think would be the best result for Ukraine, that would be to quietly surrender. Now, that's kind of not what Zelensky wants, but the more he pushes, the harder the Russians are going to ramp it up. That will end the situation initially, and allow life to return to normal. But that's not the end game. What happens then would be an insurgency should start up, quietly rearm, and then cause problems. And bog Russia down. So, that's what I'd do. A tactical withdrawal. And then deal with it, that way. Know which battles you can win and which battles you can't. Because the sheer mathematics does not lean in Ukraine's favour. And the longer it goes on, the more they will have to rebuild. And if it goes on too long, it could end up with a mistargeted missile hitting one of those nuclear power stations, which, well, that will be bad for everybody. You don't want to destroy a nuclear power station. Memories, it appears, are short because, after all, April 26, 1986 at 2 o'clock in the morning, Reactor 4 blew up. And that scattered radioactive dust. Radioactive concrete dust, radioactive graphite dust, radioactive uranium dust, plutonium dust, and whatever else was in there. All over Western Europe, Eastern Europe. There's traces of the Chernobyl fallout in the United States, in Australia, in Siberia, in Japan, all over Europe. It didn't stop at Wales, it went right across. And if they were to crack and blow open the containment with a cruise missile, we'll have Chernobyl Mark II. And I don't think Vladimir has actually thought of that. He should know fucking better. I'll grant you. And if it carries on, that could happen. I mean, I thought he wouldn't attack that nuclear power station. But he did. It's just sheer stupidity, sheer madness. So we'll know, we'll see what happens over the next few days. No, this video falls up a little bit more. There we go. And we're back in Iceland. That was the sound of my keys rattling. Yeah, he said that anyway. And it's obvious that he hasn't been hearing the news off NATO. We are not going to give him a no-fly zone. We're not going to play to his little games. And that's what he wants. So let's not hope it goes that far. You know, he's picking for a fight, and it's the stronger person. It takes a lot more guts to hold off and not give him that fight. And this may seem cruel on Ukraine by not enforcing the no-fly zone. Yeah, sacrificing Ukraine, for want of a better word, is probably the smarter thing to do. Because he's threatened nuclear conflicts if anyone gets in his way. And when the nukes start flying, there will be no winners in a nuclear war. And NATO are fully aware of this fact. Well, if you saw the press conference at the start of this conflict, where he's asking for loyalty of his security chiefs, watch carefully at their body and listen carefully to what they say. He had to get them to, are you with me on this? Are you with me? Do you understand? And finally they said yes. And when he gave told his generals to go on special alert with his nuclear forces, look at their faces. I do not think his entire military is with him on this. And when there's however many thousand nuclear warheads available, it's a very dangerous situation. Hang on. Yeah, don't fold and concede to Russia. Ukraine will do that anyway, because they'll simply run out of ammunition. They'll encircle the key cities, which means we will not be able to get arms to them. So they'll fold. So enforcing on sanctions and negotiations, yeah, that would work. Whether, on the other hand, we get to ignore Partygate, memories are long on that. I think that those sanctions have taken to the UK government, taken to Downing Street, taken a 10-bore or 12-bore shotgun, aimed it at their feet and pulled the trigger. But the real situation that might deal with Putin is in Moscow. His oligarchs. Because already, I don't know if you've heard that yesterday, a tanker arrived in Kent with liquid natural gas from Russia, which isn't covered by the sanctions. They refused to unload it. Well, there was a tanker today that arrived at Stanlow with oil. It was a German tanker, German ship, but the oil was loaded in Russia. They refused to offload it, even though it wasn't covered by the sanctions. Exactly. They should be left in place until at least Vladimir is out of office. And the thing is, Russia used to have a lot of respect. It was a country where you'd be wary of it, but you'd respect it. And they were respected on the world stage in the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. And up to a point, the 1990s, when Yeltsin was in power. Right now, their reputation is trashed. I think even China is getting very wary of them. Yeah, and no one's buying it. Yeah, so if we go along and put in sanctions on the oil, that could really upset the Russian economy. I mean, I saw yesterday, I did a quick search. It's like, just how much is the ruble worth against the US dollar? 0.0097. 1 ruble is worth less than $1. Yeah, so it's already started to slide. And if no one is buying Russian produce, Russian products, they can be as cheap as they want and they can be as good quality as you want. Well, if no one's buying them, Russia's not going to make any money. And that'll be hard for Russia to deal with. Pardon me. Yeah, that'll be really hard for them to deal with. But somebody needs to make the first move and step back from the brink. Because right now, the world is... We were 2 steps from hell. Now we're 1 step from hell. Yeah, the doomsday clock has moved closer to midnight than it ever was. Yeah, and the next stage, I think, will be for Ukraine, like I said earlier, to make a tactical surrender. Not a complete capitulation, but a tactical surrender. They can't win this particular battle. Yeah, but they can win the war. But to win the war, they need to surrender. Now that sounds counterintuitive. What that will do will allow them to regroup, quietly rearm. And then go at it from the inside. Because trying to go like this with a complete catfight, they ain't gonna win. The numbers are quite simply too great. Yeah, they'll win the war, but they won't win this battle. Way slide. They carried on anyway, so must have been just the mirrors. Fuck off, coach. Back to where you came from. It's like Germany. They lost the Second World War. Now, some of the biggest cars in the world, most popular cars in the world, are German. Yeah. So who actually won the Second World War on the economies? The Germans. Yeah. The Japanese. I mean, most bloody cars and like you see, Japanese or German. Because if they end up being starved out, because the Russians will do that to the Ukrainians, that's going to feed more resentment to the towards the Russians. And it's also going to feed more resentment from the Russians to the Kremlin. As more and more Russian troops are taken down. Which will cause more protests in Russia. And then for the Vladimir to only double down on what he's doing. So, in that respect, they ain't gonna win. The Kremlin will win there. And this ceasefire that has been negotiated, the reason why it's still shooting going on is it's been too quick. Word has not got to the front. where the Russians are fighting about the ceasefire. Word hasn't gone to Moscow and got back down. So the troops need to find out about this ceasefire so that they can lay down their arms. But for Shell, yeah, definitely pulling out of Russia was a good move. But Vladimir Putin is not the one with all the who's in control. He only thinks he is. Yeah, okay, he's the one who can give all the orders for the troops to do this or the troops to do that, or that get filtered down to the generals give it down to the lieutenants, and the lieutenants give it down to the grunts. So what's that? The Russians actually carried on regardless. But that is a typical thing. Ceasefires are sometimes used to regroup and reposition. It's an old tactic. But definitely a no-fly zone is not going to work. Well, for one, even if Vladimir Putin doesn't escalate it, when we had a ceasefire, a no-fly zone over Bosnia to stop the Serbians attacking the Bosnians, you knew what you were fighting against, because the Serbians used Yugoslav fighter planes and Russian-made fighter planes. The West used American and European equipment. F-16s, Tornadoes, Harriers, Mirage fighters, Versias, Sokol Galeb fighters, MiGs. So you kind of knew what you're fighting against. So, go to Syria. The good guys used Western jets. Tornadoes, Typhoons, F-14s, F-15s, F-16s. The bad guys use older Russian equipment. MiG-21s, MiG-23s. And the allies of the bad guys use very modern Russian equipment. MiG-29s, Su-27s, Su-35s. So again, you knew who you were fighting against. So right now we've got... So let's just put the ceasefire into action. Over bloody Ukraine. The bad guys, the Russians, use Russian fighter planes, MiGs, Sukhois, Mil helicopters. What do the Ukrainians use? Mi-24 Heinz, Mi-8 Hips, Mi-14 Hayes, MiG-29 Fulcrum, Su-27 Flanker. So do the Russians. So when the Russians capture a MiG-29, they're not going to completely repaint it It'll take too long to re-camouflage it in Russian colours. They'll paint out the bloody Ukrainian insignia and put in their own. They'll go up in combat. So you see a bloody MiG-29. Who owns it? It looks like it's in Ukrainian camouflage. Is it friendly? So you shoot it down. Okay, well that particular one was owned by the Russians. Well, there's two more up there. Well, they must be Russian too, so you shoot them down. No, they might have been friendly. Yeah, so straight away you're going to have problems trying to enforce a no-fly zone. When the enemy and your allies are using the same equipment. Yeah. The Ukrainians use T-72 tanks. The Ukrainians use Maz and Uralaz tank transporters. The Ukrainians use BDRM and BMP-3 armoured fighting vehicles. Just like the Russians. And if the Allies in Gulf War can miss the inverted black triangle that and fluorescent orange panels that we painted on our tanks, including the Warriors, I'm pretty sure that the identification markings to say that these vehicles are Ukrainian, these vehicles are Russian, could also get missed. Which is why a no-fly zone probably won't work. Yet alone the risk of full-blown conflict if we go entangled with the Russians. And I think that's one of the things that NATO knows. Because things get very difficult when you're using your same equipment as your enemy. Because even in NATO Air Force, you've got Russian kit. So the only way out of this is to deal with it through sanctions. Trade barriers. Make sure that Russia can't earn its money. And a tactical surrender? Great for the short term. Not so great for the Russians in the long term. I mean, Vladimir Putin says that if any of our whoever gets enforcing the no-fly zone will be seen as entering the combat, but let's hope it doesn't happen. So Vladimir himself probably knows that he would not come out of it intact if it went to a full-on Russia versus NATO exchange. He knows this. And the Americans have got, I suspect, nuclear weapons targeted on Moscow, just like they've got nukes targeted on Washington. And the same applies to London. Yeah, so, having a tactical surrender That will then allow Zelensky to get the fuck out to Dodge and get to the United States. Yeah, that will allow the Russians to de-arm. Okay, we've won. We have won. The Ukrainians, they have surrendered. We go home now. You can then start to rebuild Ukraine. Initially, it will be under Russian under the Russian sphere of influence. But now that it all gone quiet and yeah, the Ukrainians won't be being shot at by the Russians. Yeah, their president may be slightly Russia-leaning for now, and then quietly an insurgency develops, and then we then start out from the inside. The only way to take this down is to do it from the inside out, but do it when the Russians aren't looking. You have to play the long ball game. Know which battles you can win and which battles you can't. And if Ukraine does take that route, chances are the West will be there. Because even Vladimir Putin knows that if the nukes start flying, he ain't gonna win. He at least wants to hand over a successful Russia to somebody else, one of his oligarchs. Well, if it's been laid waste after a nuclear exchange, what is there to hand over? Yeah. Nobody will want to live in a radioactive hellhole. Nobody wants to try and govern a radioactive hellhole. And that's a tricky one to answer. Yeah, so dip the carrot in Novichok, stick it, tie a string around it, dip it in Novichok, surrender, then wave the stick with the carrot in front of Vladimir. There you go, Vlad. There's your stick, there's your carrot. You wanted it, go chase it. And eventually he'll bite that carrot. Oh dear. Swan Lake then plays on the radio. Or on the TV. We are regret to announce that our dearly beloved leader, Vladimir Putin, is dead. Oh dear, how sad. Never mind. That's my prediction on how it'll probably end up. But I was wrong over this invasion because I thought they were never going to do it. Yeah, if they were going to do it, they've had plenty of opportunity, they would have done so. By now. You've had 8 years to do it. But all of a sudden, bing! Yeah, but there's a missing piece in this jigsaw somewhere that, as a civilian, that I'm not getting. And that is the why now. And we can speculate. Like I said earlier on, yeah. And I think it's because Vladimir Putin knows he hasn't got much time left, I don't think. But this conflict will probably play out like Georgia, Abkhazia situation, or like Nagorno-Karabakh. But because it's right on Europe's doorstep, is what makes it so dangerous. Which is probably one of the reasons why they haven't pushed westwards. Because they don't want their missiles landing in Slovakia, landing in Hungary, landing in Poland. Because that could be seen as an attack on NATO, which will trigger Article 5. And then NATO responds in kind by sending missiles over to Russian territory. Russia ups the ante, NATO ups the ante. Russia ups the ante even more, so does NATO. And all of a sudden we've got a nuclear exchange. So if there is a tactical surrender, I'm not saying capitulation because that is something totally different. A tactical surrender. Yeah, you go to the white flag, you go to the negotiating table, you sign a document, and basically that's it. The Dnieper River, which runs from the Belarusian border right down through the country towards Odessa. That will become a frontier. Russia on one side of it, the West on the other side of it. With Kyiv in the middle. Now Kyiv spans that river. A bit like London does over the Thames. There's some parts on one side of the river, some parts on the other side. That could end up like Berlin. With the communists in one half of it and the tripartite group in the other half. With checkpoints between the two. That is one way it could end. And with that, Kyiv's capital, Kyiv is relocated as a capital over towards Lviv. A bit like how the capital of West Germany was moved from Berlin to Bonn, whilst the capital of East Germany remained Berlin. And with Western Kyiv squarely sort of like, well, it's not completely surrounded by East Ukraine. It stays sort of like easy to get at, but it'll be a little bit too close to Russian territory for comfort. So you want it moving a little bit further away. and maybe the capital of East Ukraine is also moved slightly over to the east. Yeah. And then obviously you rebuild Kyiv, you rebuild the cities. Fuel lights just come on. I need to find fuel now. And welcome to my channel as I head over towards God, where am I heading to? Blungavik over in Iceland, far northeast of Iceland. Trying to find a fuel station right now. I think there's one down here somewhere. Yeah, there's one in that town. Well, that's my take on the Ukraine situation. We'll probably know a little bit more in a week's time. But right now, I wouldn't like to be the average Russian. So as these sanctions start to bite, things are going to get more expensive over there. There's already been signs of a run on the bank. There's people queued up at cash machines trying to withdraw money. MasterCard, Visa have pulled out of Russia. PayPal have pulled out of Russia. So if you are wanting to buy game mods that's off Facebook, where you pay in rubles, nope, fat chance of that. Yeah, the Russians are going in for a regime change, and I think it's hurt them. Because it ain't going how they wanted it to. And they're causing themselves plenty of harm in the process. Aha! There's fuel! There's fuel! Just down here. Can I get around this building? Yes, I can. I can get around here. Time to refuel this old girl. What is that? Is that that's a job point. Okay. See what it takes to fill up. And what have we got left to do on this run? Fuel is full. This is where I level the canopy, possibly at Circle K. No, no, I'm through. I'm through. But we've just had, I think, the US Republican convention. Now, typical of Dippy Donald to say that he is the only president in modern times that Russia's not invading somebody, because under Bush he invaded Georgia, under Obama he invaded bloody Syria. Oh, hello. Bye-bye. Oh, that'll be. That's my browser signing for Opera. But I wonder one day is how on earth would Donald of Trump, who's not a statesman, have reacted had he still been in power? Now it's a bit of a what if, but my guess is probably not very well. Because whilst he was in Washington, he had meetings with Kim Jong-un. He had meetings with Vladimir Putin, and they run rings around him. So I don't think he would have dealt with this situation very positively. Yeah, he's invading other countries. I gotta send him troops with nuclear weapons. Oh dear. Yeah, that would have ended badly. So right now, with a risk-averse Joe Biden in power, things in the long run might actually be better for Ukraine. Because, yeah, okay, he's in his 80s, he's not exactly the youngest of politicians. I think he's probably America's oldest president yet. He knows how to do business. And same with Kamala Harris. I mean, she knows how to do business. Mike Pence probably would have dealt with the situation a lot better than Donald Trump. He's a statesman. Yeah, the last thing you want in a situation like this is a trigger-happy president. Yeah, that's the last thing you want. And I think that Maggie Thatcher, Tony Blair, and John Major, and Gordon Brown as well, possibly there is some of that. But as the old saying goes, if you've ever read Sun Tzu, when you are in a strong position, make yourself look weak. If you're in a weak position, make yourself look strong, which I think is what's playing out here. But Russia does have a habit of testing its NATO adversaries. But I don't think Donald Trump would have done it any better. He would have just pressed the fucking button. But what you got to consider is what we see on the news is probably only a tenth of what's actually going on in the entire situation. Yeah, we're not getting, as civilians, the full story. There's a lot going on in the back rooms. In the back rooms of the Kremlin, in the back rooms of Number 10, in the back rooms of the Élysée Palace, in the back rooms of the Bundestag, and in the back rooms of the White House and the Capitol building. There's a lot going on. I mean, this has been planned for some time. You know, they put 200,000 troops on the border with, on the Ukrainian border. That's more than what, that's over twice our standing army. Yeah, Russia has a huge military force, but how effective is it? When judging by the looks at it, probably not very well, not very effective at all. Which is causing frustration, which is then causing more ever violent tactics, which is what we're seeing here. Which is why I think Ukraine should do the tactical surrender trick. We come in peace, shoot to kill. To quote the lines off the old song Star Trekking. Yeah. We come in peace, shoot to kill, shoot to kill, shoot to... We come... Yeah, that one. Yeah, Sun Tzu also mentioned about leaving a golden bridge for your enemies to retreat over. That's all well and good. We've left that golden bridge to Vladimir Putin. Just like he's walked straight past the exit ramp. He's not left himself a route out of this. Which doesn't help matters. Yeah. Is he making all these irrational decisions? After all, he's a Russian. He might be not in control of the situation, possibly because he's had too much of the Russian happy juice. And if he says that this our special military operation is going according to plan, whatever he's on, I fucking want some. Well, best not drive afterwards. It's probably it's probably a tad more spicy than vodka. Might make people a little bit trippy as well. Yeah, he's definitely on something. Thing is though, Russia has got issues with its military as well. Yeah, they are a bit cash strapped. Yeah, so they have had a lot of technical problems. Yeah, their kit, when it's in full working order, is fucking good. Yeah, the Su-27, the Su-35 family, it's one of the best fighter planes going. Okay, it's not stealthy. Doesn't need to be. You know, it's good, old-fashioned, old-school. There's a secret road up there. Yeah, get it in production, cheaper and quicker to build. I mean, the F-35. Yeah, it's a damn good plane, but it's over budget. It's over time, and it's late, and it's easily defeated because it's been going on that far, and all the issues with it being very much in the public domain. The Russians and the Chinese know how to beat the damn thing, whereas the Su-27, keep it simple. It's got to be maintained by conscripts. Keep the damn thing simple. Yeah, and that's why it's such a good aircraft. You put a pair of Rolls-Royce engines in it, you'd have a fighter plane which is pretty much unmatchable in the skies. Alex. That's not Alex Bacon, sorry. Prehistory. Dates back quite a while. Prehistory. Goes back a while. Where's this Alex? Just I prefer it on this side anyway. Means if I have a head-on collision, the passenger gets it in the face, not me. This is a tortuous road. Ah, that's probably why it's such torture. It's so fucking steep. Being on gravel as well, it's quite slippy. So a quick lift of the tag axle and off I go again. Navigate around the rocks there. Also, as well, having your wheel on the right-hand side of the cab, most people are right-handed. I've got 19 tons on a double. What, you worried about the back end spinning, being pushed round? Because I did actually have the retarder, the exhaust brake on. Not that one, just the exhaust brake. Yeah, because if you've got all your braking at the front and nothing on the back, it can push you around. Oh, it does it. It can do it in this as well. If you're going along and you on the slippy stuff and you put your retarder on, it does actually spit you around. I know. It's happened. Which is why, yeah, I have it set up where I can put the trailer brake on. So if it starts to go, just put the trailer brake on a bit and it'll bring you back round. It'll snap you back. But yeah, Alex, as I was saying, with right-hand drive, most people are right-handed, which means that in the olden days when cars were manuals, less so much now important now, as a lot of trucks are automatic, and a lot of cars are going automatic as well. When you're changing gear, your dominant hand is still in control of the truck because it's on the wheel. But I think it dates back to when, obviously, we're on horses and stuff, yeah. And people used to use swords to fight with, or so you can reach across and pull it out. Got on this job. I've still got 47 hours. However, I need to take a quick bio break, so I'm going to go for a leak, and I will be back in a moment. Sorry, petrol station, it's going to get blocked up there. Oh, actually tells you left the handbrake off, he's doing the engine up. That's a nice touch, that is. Right, I'll be back in a moment because I need a leak and I need new coffee. I thought it had something to do with that. Well, that doesn't explain why the French put their wheels on the left. Because surely then, yeah, you come along, you're on your horse and stuff, and you pull your sword off your left hand side. Yeah, you go. Yeah. Right, I'll be back in a minute. Right, before I go anywhere, let's put some music player on. How about that? Back in a minute. As if the French would do that. Makes the idea seem that the French were so the time to surrender. Would they do that? But that doesn't also explain the idea of left-hand drive being for the Germans. Yeah. Was they're not a surrendering person. They're not the type to surrender. I think next in the summer, I think I'll go book a holidays this yeah. Book a holiday now. I'm already planning on applying for my passport again this year, and then I want to go to. I do want to go to Iceland, but unfortunately, the thing I want to go Iceland for has stopped. I wanted to go see Bob, but unfortunately Bob's dead. He's no longer pumping out bloody lava, so it's well, actually Nar covered him. He got buried by Nar. Sif took out the camera. Bollocks. Fuck. Here we go. We're going. We're going. We're going. We're rolling again. $730 horsepower, I couldn't go up that fucking hill. Was a lost grip. You know, driving on snow and ice, it's all about keeping moving. You know what? I think that is a screenshot, I think. There we are. But there, I think. Oh yeah. Right. See what I mean? if you put your retarder on, it does kick you. So you want to tiptoe down here. And yeah, that was actually deliberate there. It did actually I did actually intend it to kick out like that. So yeah, snow and ice, the retarder kicking you out physics does work. And if you've got a 4x2 chassis, it spits you around really quickly. So just let the gearboxes hold me there. I mean, we are still 158 k's away from the town, which is just over the other side of those hills, actually. Now as for ice road truckers, there was a mod I saw knocking around, and it gives you Alaska. You know, certain parts in Alaska, and yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, that was with 19 tons on. This thing can gross up to 60 ton. But as you're probably aware as well, going back to what we were discussing earlier on, Russia and Belarus have also been kicked out of the Olympics as well. This entire crusade is hurting Russia badly on the world stage. And I think that will do Vladimir some hurt, because he's big into his sports. I mean, that's why you had all the doping of Russian athletes. He wanted them to outperform the West. Which is probably why he did all the dirty tricks. And oh yeah, they will. Like I've said to people in TMP who drive under VTC colours, reputation is easy to lose, so hard to gain. Oh hell yeah. And when you got like companies like PayPal refusing to do transactions in rubles, yeah, MasterCard pulling out of Russia, Visa pulling out of Russia, energy companies pulling out of partnerships with Russian energy companies, even at the detriment of their own profits. Yeah, cultural icons. Yeah, like Disney. What do we call cultural icons? Shunning Russia. There were loads of films by Disney and Paramount and the likes which were due to be released in Russia. No, you're not getting them. And the average Russian, I think, is also going to hurt in this. But they're going to spin it as like, this is the West doing. You know? But a lot of the older generation Russians who pick up their information from TV are probably going to soak it like a sponge. The younger Russians who like their TikTok, who like their Instagram, who like their Facebook and Twitter, who have VPNs, they're not going to fall for it. Yeah, you have Russian politicians who are within Vladimir's circle who use Twitter, who use Facebook to communicate with the masses. Well, they're not going to be able to do that. Unless, of course, Russia brings out its own Facebook. Yeah, Boeing, who sell parts for their airliners. Pratt & Whitney, who sell engines for the Sukhoi Superjet. They've also pulled out. People are dropping fucking Russia like a fucking hot stone. And these oligarchs who've got BMWs, Jaguars, Mercedes, Audis, Porsches, Cadillacs, who, when their cars break down and they can't get spare parts, they're probably not going to be very happy. Because after all, if you've got a, up until recently, if you've got a Western car, you've got more status than the guy who's got the Volga limousine. And I think even Vladimir Putin's limousine was Western made. start smacking any signs. Seems to be a common habit of mine with this in Pro Mods. I tend to smack. Got around there, okay. So they never made this for bloody doubles, did they? Thank God it's not one of these 15 bloody meter trailers. I mean, that's why Aeroflot purchased the Boeing 777 and I think, and yeah, the Boeing 737 over and Airbus over their Russian rivals, like the Tupolovs. Because the Tupolev Tu-154 Krusty, yeah. Yeah, seriously, they called it the Krusty. Yeah. Wasn't as good. You know, as its Western counterpart, the Boeing 727. And Aeroflot's biggest maintenance depot isn't in Moscow. It's in Berlin. Because it's close to Airbus. Well, they ain't going to be able to get their aircraft maintained and certified. Well, here's a kicker. A lot of their aircraft were owned by an Irish leasing company who've got repossession orders on the Aeroflot assets that they've leased out. Oh dear. Oh dear. Although, quite how do they get them back? I see glowing purples in the sky. I see the... Ah, yeah, there's the aurora. But yeah, people are not going to trust Russia for quite a while. Right, it's... Where is it? It's down here somewhere, I think. Ah, there it is. There it is. Now I've got to go hunting to try and find the drop icon. Where exactly is it? Ah, it's there. It's there. Oh, that's got to be entertaining to get into. That is going to be fun. Because that's what I've got, you know. Right, okay. Indicators up. Let this guy go back here. This is going to have to be, I would imagine, a double shunt. Swing that way. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. That is absolutely bloody beautiful. Well, the thing is, with this current situation, any resolution that the Security Council put forwards is, unfortunately, it's going to be vetoed because of Russia having a veto on the Security Council, which unfortunately is not going to help the situation. That was bumped it. Oh, fuck off, coach! Don't you just hate it when the traffic does that? Yeah, as if cars in real life would nose up on you like that to block your bloody backing in. Yes, they fucking do. What's actually blocking? You mean I can't push a fucking milk crate out the way? I've got 730 horsepower and I can't push a bloody milk crate. Seriously. That milk crate is stronger than the bloody truck. How nuts is that? I mean, that's one tough milk crate. There's a snowbank there. Which, okay, I can understand that being bloody difficult to get into, but now I'm getting there. Now I'm doing it. Nope. Bollocks. I've got right. Time to call the AA. Nah! just dump some bloody hot water on that crate and move it. I mean, in some places you can push things like that around, like the wheelie bins and hauls. You can move them about, but to be stopped by, I've come all this way to be stopped by a fucking milk crate. I mean, come on. That's it. Bit of welly. Bit of good old-fashioned welly. There we are. We're in. We're done. Okay. Deal with that. That's not done. It's not done too badly, actually. No skills from that, I think. Right. I think that's a nice, easy point to end it. Hopefully next week the situation will have improved. Yeah, people will have come to their senses and done the right thing and stopped this fucking madness. Fucking hope it is. But I've got things to do. I've got other things I want to do, so I'm going to end the stream here. So, for those of you who have followed, if you've actually been following me from the start of the trip, good luck. Thank you. Yeah, but all enjoyed. It's been a good stream. Okay, it's been on single player this week, not multiplayer, but never mind. Yeah, but it's now time for me to shut the stream down, and all being well, I'll be back next Saturday. So for now, take care, be safe, be well, and let's just pray that there's not a big white flash